Hey, it's Shannon. So, I'd be lying if I said I've been able to keep up with my fitness routine during this whole quarantine situation. I haven't been. I'm excited though because gyms are opening up again soon and I'm excited to get back on it. I've not been to the gym in about 3 months and I haven't had a consistent routine in significantly longer than that. I'm going to start building back up gradually and just start moving my body again, starting from today. I feel reasonably out of shape at the moment. I definitely have lost a lot of strength. And I have gained a considerable amount of weight in this time. I'm just choosing to give myself the grace and self-forgiveness right now. Your weight will fluctuate with the amount of water you've eaten, the amount of carbohydrates you've eaten, what time of the month it is. I'm just going to go over how I feel and how my energy, my strength, and those kind of markers for me instead of just focusing on my scale weight. During this time, I've been practicing nurturing parts of me that aren't external and don't have anything to do with my exterior or my physical appearance. In the developing world, we are fortunate enough to have an abundance of food, and during this quarantine, we do have access to food 24/7, so it can be very tempting, and I found myself eating at stupid hours just for no reason, just from being bored. I tend to stress eat a lot, and that is an issue that I have at the moment. So with summer around the corner, I know it can be very tempting for a lot of people to start getting on the fitness bandwagon and just hammering themselves and going on crash diets, and I don't think this is sustainable long term. You're just going to end up rebounding and it's not really healthy for you either, so I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm not going to throw my body at it and shock it all at once. This time last year I was very lean and I had abs. I'll try to insert some photos in this clip when I can. I was very strong. I was working out at least 4 days a week when I wasn't having to do other commitments. And currently I have no abs. I don't really have much muscle definition at all. A lot of my weight goes to my thighs and to my backside. And I'm not saying that I'm overweight. I never have been, and I wouldn't know what it's like. I'm a healthy weight, but I think there's something to be said about being used to a particular body composition, a particular shape that you're in. And it's not that my body now is bad, it's just different and it takes some time to get used to the new body. Also, I can't fit in any of my clothes at the moment. I know that everything will return with time, my strength will return with time, and consistency, and that's key. So my fitness plan. My plan for workouts during this time is 3 workouts a week I'm going to dedicate to exercise. So I'm going to be strength training for these 3 workouts. I don't tend to do cardio. Even when I've been super lean, I haven't done cardio. I've just really increased the number of times I strength train. I think throughout the journey, it's also important to enjoy the process because we're all the time striving for that end result and that end goal. And we're not taking the time to appreciate what we have right now. And I suppose in many aspects of my life, I do take that quite slow living approach, even to my fitness. I don't tend to do anything that really spikes my cortisol either. I think that we have too much chronic stress nowadays anyway. So I tend to just do quite slow movements, just building my strength and just making myself stronger. I'm also not going to be focusing so much on aesthetics with my training. I'm going to focus more on functional movements and making my body as healthy as possible. And at the moment, you just want to be healthy and happy, especially with everything going on in the world. Something I might also be implementing along my journey is cycle syncing my workouts, which is basically, as women, we have a circadian rhythm and an infradian rhythm. And the infradian rhythm involves our menstrual cycles. And every week we're going through a different phase. We're going through our follicular phase, our luteal phase, and every week our hormones are changing. So that also means that you might have different needs week to week depending on how you feel and on your hormones. And so you might want to change your workouts from week to week and maybe do something more restorative and more regenerative when you're bleeding, and then when you're not bleeding you can do things that are more physical and more strenuous. So in this video I'm also including a little kettlebell workout for you. This is the only piece of equipment that I have at home at the moment, and I wish I would have used it more than I have been. And usually I do use 20 kilograms and above for kettlebell workouts, but I only have a 12 kilo available to me, so that's what I will be using today. You can also modify these workouts if you are a beginner, and I'll be explaining that. If you don't have a kettlebell available to you, it's fine. You just use your things at home. You can use a backpack filled with books and load it on your back. If you have resistance bands, if you have milk jugs, if you have cans, use what you have at home. So I hope you enjoy this workout, and I'll see you in the next one.
So here we go with the simple kettlebell workout. The first exercise is going to be the one arm kettlebell swing. So you're going to be hinging at the hips and then pushing forward using your glutes and your hamstrings. Note, this is not an arm exercise. You're not pulling with your arms. You're simply thrusting forward using your hips and your glutes. It's kind of like a vertical hip thrust using the kettlebell. Because I don't tend to do a lot of traditional warm-ups, I really find that this exercise does help me to warm up and get everything firing, especially because it's a lower weight than what I'm typically used to. So this is one of my favorite movements. This is the overhead walking lunge. So you're stabilizing the kettlebell overhead and you're stabilizing your core, and it's a great functional movement and an overall full body movement. So you're just going to be holding it overhead and lunging forward. If you don't yet have the strength to hold the kettlebell overhead, you can just do a simple lunge and that would be fine too. So now we have another lunge. It's the side to side lunge. So I like this movement because it's moving in the lateral plane. We don't do a lot of lateral movements in our everyday lives. We tend to move more forwards and backwards. So this is a great one. So you're lunging to one side, returning to center, and then lunging to the other side. This is a great movement for your legs, of course, and for your glutes. I really love this exercise because it really does, it's different. It's good to change up the different planes that you're moving in. So now here's another lunge. I know that there are lots of lunges in this particular workout. So this is a curtsy lunge. I really love this exercise. It's one of my favorites because it does work that side booty so you can get that round booty look that everyone's looking for nowadays. So you're curtsy lunging to one side, returning to center, and curtsying to the other side. You don't really need a kettlebell for this. You can use whatever resistance you have on hand or just do without any weight at all. So now we're doing the goblet squat to overhead press. So you want to be racking the kettlebell, grabbing it by the horns and squatting down. If you have the mobility for it, squat below parallel. But if you're still a beginner or you don't have quite that mobility, just squat at parallel and then progress thereafter. So you're going to be squatting down, and as you drive up, you're going to be pushing the kettlebell overhead. And so this is a great exercise for your shoulders, as well as, of course, your glutes and your legs. You can also modify and just do a simple squat instead. So now there was a lot of pushing exercises in this whole routine. So here is a pulling one. This is a one arm row. You're going to be pulling with using your lats. One arm is going to be on the bench and one arm is going to be pulling the kettlebell. You're going to be doing 10 on each side for a total of 3 sets, and then you're done.